In the fragile hush of a diplomatic dawn, a single betrayal stains the void red. Aliens thought they could bury a human hero in silence. They forgot. We rise from the graves with fire in our veins. Witness the black rose bloom in vengeance, a lone warrior's rampage that turns treaties to ash and empires to echoes. A story written by OGGruntComm. Alexina Hutchins gripped the metallic podium with trembling hands. Before her were 4 black caskets laying at the center, mist curling from their sealed edges. She opened her mouth to conclude her speech, but failed, her pain becoming unbearable to the point of silence, which swallowed the whole whole. Her teary eyes locked onto a single casket, her breath hitching as a tear slid down her cheek. "I love you," she whispered, her words cracking apart in her throat. The silence deepened into something heavier, not just grief, but dread. A soft murmur cracked over the funeral speakers, almost inaudible. "Stand by." Before Alexina's knees buckled, a guard rushed forward, gently escorting her away from the podium. The moment she fell down, all the service members stationed around the funeral hall shifted in their movements, almost as if they were waiting for the right moment. Each one of their hands placed gently around sidearms within their holsters. To the few that were most observant, they took it as a new stationary post position for them and thought nothing of it. But to the well-trained, something felt very wrong about that sudden movement. Another figure rose from the shadows at the foot of the stage. He paused, locking eyes with Alexina as she was led away, a silent promise passing between them. Sean Hutchins mounted the steps with heavy, deliberate steps. His black and grey suit hung loose on his frame, as if he had shed more than just weight in recent months. His face was a map of grief, rough beard, bloodshot eyes, sweat glistening under the harsh lights. Above him, a giant screen showed a live feed of a drone soaring over sweeping plains and strange structures on a faraway alien world. The man gripped the podium and began to speak. I am Sean Hutchins, Alex's brother," he said, a tear dropping onto the data screen embedded in the podium. "At first, I wasn't going to come. Out there on deployment, it's easy to separate yourself from everything back home. It hurts at first, but then it becomes a shield. You tell yourself the distance and absence are worth it. It's part of the mission, a sacrifice, so they never have to." He breathed heavily as he continued. "My brother thought differently. I ran off to fight the enemy. He decided to make fewer enemies to fight." A few in the audience laughed. Sean chuckled too, his first smile in a long time. "He said, 'You think war is bad? Wait until you hear Aunt Tracy's ramblings about Thraxian cuisine or Granddad Bob's toe fungus.' He wanted me to fight in the trenches of dating and combat Katie in the battlefield of chess. He once told me the worst conflict he ever faced was settling a dispute between the Krogs and a Lithuanian monks. A quiet but frustrated voice came from one of the doors. One of the Troglodyan mourners attempted to leave but was abruptly stopped by a staff member. "I'm just trying to relieve myself. Had to strip down to his birthday suit and do some crazy ritual dance so that we'd even speak to each other. Still not sure if that was real or a prank," Sean continued unabated. The audience chuckled. Sean sighed and continued. "Ambassador Alex Hitchens of the Terran Republic. He was our best shot, our best chance to stop the Ascendancy Wars. He brought enemies to the table and built bridges no one thought could exist. He was going to end this war and bring everyone home." He scanned the audience. His grief was still there, but something harder burned within him. "That was before the incident," he said as he looked at the 5 caskets before him. "Today, he was supposed to be in Lithia Prime. Today, he was supposed to finish his mission. Today, he was supposed to celebrate peace." The side doors opened. 10 more service members walked in, carrying additional caskets. Others walked through the audience, whispering to select mourners and leading them away, as Alexina had been. Sean gripped the podium tighter. Many of you don't know what happened to Alex. It's been classified. I've been given special permission to tell you. For closure. He looked at the audience, his eyes burned with anguish and rage. He and his family were killed, assassinated, not by the pirates of the peace accords, but by a third party. It was an ambush. They were taken out mercilessly. Their hails for diplomacy were ignored. Gasps erupted from the audience. Alex, his wife Sherry, and his daughters Katie and Alyssa, gone. Their ship, a protected ship, was destroyed by cloaked warships lying in wait, on a route only a few would have known. He stared at the mourners at the front. The live feed above shifted to a HUD overlay. Target reticles appeared over various locations on the alien landscape. The drone's view adjusted as it locked onto a sleek white and gold transport craft soaring above the field. As Chief of the Terran Royal Authority, it is my duty to investigate the cause and bring the assassins to justice, Sean said. A service member placed a device onto the podium. Sean connected it. My father wasn't like me or my brother. He was cruel to both my mother and us. I would be lying if I said that the reason both me and my brother left Overworld wasn't to escape him. But something I would give him is that he was well connected and very, very rich. The audience sat motionless as Sean continued. It took me about a year to track how route details leaked to Red Hand. Found out that my father became a trillionaire the moment the death of my brother was released publicly. He secured several government contracts for weapons manufacturing from both parties of the peace accords. He leaned into the mic. His voice dropped to a low growl. He sold my brother out. Sold his own son for blood money. The podium groaned under the pressure of his fingers as he gripped it tighter. What I am about to do, Alex would have condemned. He would have begged me to seek justice another way, plead for me to stop, to rethink and to seek an alternative. My response, a comm crackled over the device. Firefly 1-1, positive lock on target, PID confirmed, Franklin Hutchins aboard craft U-102 awaiting orders. Sean inhaled. You were the alternative, he said, then uttered a single word. Fire! Affirm, Fox 3. On the feed, a slender missile launched from beneath the drone, streaking towards the ship ahead. The missile tracking onto the craft perfectly, and in moments, a large explosion erupted specifically around the third window from the front of the ship. The explosion ripped a large hole into its side, and suddenly jettisoned both debris and bodies out of the side. After a while, the ship began to list and speed towards the ground below. The feed cut before impact. Gasps and cries erupted in the audience. Some stood up. Others noticed that many of their loved ones were no longer there. Chief Sean, why are you telling us all of this? Showing us this? Where is Kurt Duck, my wife? A creature very closely resembling a Sasquatch said concernedly. She is fine. All of your loved ones are fine. They were moved into a lounging area elsewhere in this complex. There is another service for Alex's wife happening soon that they will be attending, Sean replied. He nodded at the formally dressed servicemen in each doorway. They nodded back and reached into their inner pockets, revealing firearms. I want to leave. Let me leave, one of the Florian gurgled out, its slimy exterior crying in nervousness. Why, Ruthador? Is it maybe because you were the one who gave one of the unmasked ships access through your borders to access the slipway route my brother had taken? Do you feel regretful for your actions? Katie trusted you. She insisted that she went to all of your daughter's birthdays. You fucking monster! The caskets hissed open. A thick fog meant to keep the cadaver's cold poured from its sides. As it cleared, they were revealed to have a single black rose at the center. The few that noticed shot up from their seats in both confusion and terror. What about you, Krill? Why was your clansman found recently stationed in sections where explosive residue and sabotaged equipment was found at the site? Alex prevented your clan's eradication. And you killed him! For what? Sean slammed his hand onto the podium. A gunshot rang out. A body dropped as the Floridian who tried to run was shot. All of you had a hand in his death. He's most trusted. He's most loved. For money, power, or just envy. Sean pulled a sidearm from under the podium. We intercepted all of your false flag transmissions. Your lies, your schemes to put it all on terror. Sean roared. You wanted war! You have war. Without hesitation, he fired. The shot punched through one of the mourners' Atma helmets with a sharp crack, and the body crumpled instantly, suffocating in the open air. The soldiers opened fire, cutting down the traitors where they stood. A few pulled hidden weapons, returning fire, but it was a short, doomed resistance. Tell the hand, Sean said, voice cold as iron. Terror answers its call to war. He holstered his weapon with mechanical calm, stepping down from the podium as gunfire thundered behind him. Prepare yourselves for the future you choose. He crossed the threshold of the doors. The soldiers closed them behind him, sealing the room, sealing the fate of those inside. A final muffled scream, a final crack of gunfire. Then silence. End of story. I'd greatly like to thank our Tier 5 channel members, Caspar Arnholtz, John Creighton, Manatharia, 050, Dragzoon WRE, and Elijah Silvercross. Thank you very much.